All right, here we go, about to launch back into the lake. Day 2 of crossing Winnipeg Lake.
Okay, so as on-screen Tom just said, this is day 2 of crossing Lake Winnipeg. I need to paddle around 260 miles until I reach my destination of Winnipeg River, where I can then resupply in Winnipeg City. I made good progress yesterday, but the conditions weren't exactly perfect.
So the wind has definitely picked up on me. I'm a little bit further out than I want to be.
But it was a good experience, as I learned a lot about the lake and I understand how dangerous it can get. You certainly don't want to go into this lake being complacent.
Good morning. Let's see what this day looks like. It's only 6:30, so the sun's still coming up. Alright, here we go, about to launch back into the lake. Day 2 of crossing Winnipeg Lake. Let's go. Might get a little bit wet here. Wait for this one. It's pretty deep. All right. All right. We're on the lake. Today is forecasted for northwesterly winds, which is really good for us, or good for me. It's probably about 8:45 now. Whew, that was a good one. Pretty much the whole way down I'm going southeasterly. So that means a northwesterly is absolutely perfect for me. It means wind behind me. Hopefully a bit of the swell it'll never be directly behind me, but at least it might be sort of on my back quarter, sort of lightly pushing me along. So let's see if we can do at least 20 miles today. I got my umbrella up. If I'm not paddling and just staring, we're sort of going we're bouncing between 2.2 and like 2.8 knots. When I do paddle and just help out a bit, then it is up over the 3 mark. So at the moment, we're off to a good start. You know, one of the big differences between paddling on the lake and paddling on a river for like the end of the day satisfaction is on a river, you never really feel like you can't gain that feeling of how much you've paddled that day. But on the lake, I can look back and where I started the day yesterday, I can't see it anymore. And it's not because it's round the corner, it's because it's too far in the distance that it's disappeared. And so it makes you think like, all right, that was a good day, you know? And it's motivation. It's motivation for the next day. And that was a feeling that I didn't get on the river. You know, you go around one bend and you're just looking at the next bend and then the next bend and the next bend. So this is more or less a straight line, but the satisfaction of seeing your progress. Decent set. Woo. That was a couple of big ones. So this right now is always the tricky decision for me. So there's a bit of a horseshoe here. The conditions are so perfect for me just to go in a straight line over there and cut out that whole horseshoe. The problem is, there's always a problem. The problem is, let's have a look at how far it is. It is just under 4 miles, 3.8 miles, which would be a little more than an hour at my current speed. If I go around, then probably add a mile onto that. So this is the predicament that I'm always in. But I think what I'm going to do, because the wind is sort of coming here, so if the wind did turn even a little bit round, I might be okay, but it just means it's a little bit more risky. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow the shoreline around maybe a quarter of the way around this horseshoe, then point there, and then if the wind does shift either direction, I'm okay. You know, it doesn't matter if it shifts a little bit. I'm still going to be able to use the wind. And if I do go that way, I'm going to be protected. All of this land here is protecting the wind and the swell. So it should be pretty calm in there, which is another reason why maybe I can just go straight across. From here it looks pretty far, but when you measure it, it's 3.8 miles. So I haven't been fishing since being on the lake because it's been pretty rough, and there's some big fish here. Apparently the pike around here are really big, and so because it's been pretty rough, and if I end up on the wrong angle while trying to reel in a fish, especially a big one, I could get in a bit of trouble. So just to be safe, I haven't done it. But right now I'm out of the wind, super calm. I've got the trees and everything here behind me. That's the wind's coming this way. So yeah, I'm going to follow this coastline around and see if I can get a good sized fish. This is the one I'm going with. It's probably the biggest one I've got, and you can definitely get much bigger than that, but this is the biggest one I've got because I've heard the fish in here are huge. That'll do. Wow, it's beautiful in here, protected by the wind. Really beautiful. Huh. So I was just about to say something, then I saw a otter running up the beach. I was just going to say, replace a couple of these trees with a couple of palms, and this could be Thailand. Yeah. It's weird how much it reminds me of Thailand. There's a family of otters just here in the water. Every time I try to film them, they disappear. So I went through that horseshoe, and I think I paddled about 1/3 of the way around. I'm at one of the points inside that horseshoe. Over there at that point, that's where I was when I was thinking about crossing over to there. And now that I've done this, I feel much more comfortable now. Whoa. Snag. Now I feel much more comfortable pointing over there and cutting out the rest of this horseshoe. So that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to go out a little bit and see what the wind's doing first, and if the wind's behind me, I'm going for it. Fish on. Oh, I had a fish on. Fish off. So I've seen a few otters, but I honestly thought that I'd see more animals. The bird life is crazy. There's lots of birds, lots of pelicans and other water birds that I don't know the names of. I thought I would have seen like elk, moose, especially on days like this when it's stinking hot and there's not a lot of wind. Thought they'd be coming down and cooling off. You know, I thought I'd maybe see a few bears just patrolling the shoreline. It's only been a day and a half, so maybe I will, but yeah, I thought there would be a bit more, only because this is so untouched. You know, there's not a house anywhere near me for a few hundred kilometers. The road there's a highway, but that's like, I couldn't even walk there. That's miles away. And nobody comes out here, you know? Nobody. I'm too far away. So I just thought the animal life would be along the shoreline, but you know, maybe they are there and they're just so stealth and I'm just not seeing them. Or maybe they take a glimpse of me, you know, in the distance, and maybe they disappear before I even arrive. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit surprised that I'm not seeing it, because I know they're there. It's kind of a difficult one because yesterday I made more ground by this time because there was a stronger wind. It was rougher conditions, but a stronger wind, and it just helped me. It helped me along. Today there's less wind. The conditions are beautiful, but it means I'm going slower. That's okay. It's not a race.
The warm weather. It is so enjoyable on days like this. I find when the weather's good, I paddle less miles, as I'm more calm, relaxed, and I stop to take it all in. I fish more, and when I'm hungry, I stop and eat, instead of eating on the go. It's how I imagine this trip, so it just feels good to have my unrealistic expectations met.
It is 5:05. So it's time to start looking for a camp. And right here, it's not the most pretty, but it's not a bad spot. Lots of flat areas. Problem is the wind is coming straight into it. It's not much of a wind, but you never know, it might pick up in the night. So just ahead there, I just put the drone up to see if there was anything around that corner. It doesn't really look that good, but I'm gonna check it out anyway. Look at all these fallen trees. It's been like this for a few miles now. It must get pretty rugged. It's hard to imagine it on a day like this, but I'm sure it gets pretty extreme out here. Especially, you know, when it looks like that. I'm glad that's not today. This looks like a good enough place to set up camp. Now yesterday, when I set up camp, or when I was going in to set up camp, I went in forward. Oh, mind you, I was about to say I'm going to go in backwards this time, because I went in forward and my nose hit the sand, and then I went to jump out and I was up to my waist in water. Deeper than I thought. But right now, it's relatively shallow. So maybe I can go in forward. So far so good. Made it. Now, I probably don't need it, but I'm taking my bear spray and my bear banger. It's a new location and it makes me feel more comfortable. I've definitely seen better camps, but you know, not complaining. This is going to be it. Let's set up camp. Look at the lake. It is like a mirror.
It's only day 2, but I am loving camping on the lake. The scenery is unreal. Just to sit in front of my tent, looking over the peaceful lake with untouched nature behind me. It's very calming and humbling. And now, especially looking back at this footage, I appreciate these moments even more so.
I think my day is over. It's 10 to 9 and I am pooped. Did 24 miles today, and I think, don't quote me, I think that's about 38 kilometers. Yeah, but I think just yesterday plus today, I'm just, super tired. So I'm calling it, and I'll see you tomorrow. So this is what I'm going to be listening to all night. And this is the view if I wish to see it. Straight outside my door. But I'm too tired to look at it. I'm going to sleep. Another big day tomorrow. And the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. Maybe the next day.
Now this was crazy. Now unfortunately the audio cut out of my microphone, but I went outside to pull my canoe up higher when I saw and I heard these tornadoes of mosquitoes. It was almost frightening. On the peaks of every treetop there were these mosquito tornadoes, and I have no idea what they were doing. Does anybody out there know what this was all about?
Amazing. I need to go to bed before they see me.
So once again, please like, share, subscribe, and say hi in the comments below. And if you want to support my channel in a bigger way, then please consider becoming a patron, where you will get first opportunity to come sailing with me, real-time updates, and much more. Becoming a patron keeps the journey going and the videos coming each week, and none of this would be possible otherwise. Just click the link in the description below. And don't forget to check out my swag store at www.whatintheswag.com and get yourself some merch. Also, don't forget I'm a sailboat captain, so if you need a captain or crew, then head to my website. It's www.yachtdeliver.com. Fill out the simple form and I can deliver your boat or captain a charter in any location of your choice. Thanks for watching and see you next week.
Oh well, it's a good as Bleh. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say, this is where I'm going to say, like, I don't know, I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something, and then I'm going to go about my camp. Then I'm going to go click, and then it's going to go from my click to like the finished camp. Okay? That's what I'm going to do. What's it like talking to past me, anyway? When you're watching this, you know, this is, might feel a bit weird really, wouldn't it? Anyway.